everyone, nice to see you. Welcome to Russia. Have you ever seen the Russian flag? Do you know what three colors make up the Russian flag? They are white, blue, and red. Russia has a vast territory spanning three climatic zones: the cold zone, the subcold zone, and the temperate zone. White presents the natural landscape with boundless snow in the cold zone all year round. Blue symbolizes Russia's rich underground mineral resources, forests, water conservancy, and other natural resources in the sub-cold climate zone. Red is a symbol of its temperate zone and also symbolizes the long history of Russia and its contributions to human civilization. In this session, I will briefly introduce some of its basic facts. Firstly, geography. Russia, the largest country in the world, occupies 1/10 of all the land on Earth. It spans 11 time zones across the European and Asian continents and has coasts on the Atlantic, Pacific, and Arctic Oceans. The Russian landscape varies widely from deserts to frozen coastlines, tall mountains to giant marshes. Much of the Russia is made of the rolling, treeless plains called steppes. Siberia, which makes up 3/4 of Russia, is dominated by sprawling pine forests. Almost half of Russia is covered in forests. There are many rivers and lakes in Russia. It has about 100,000 rivers, including some of the longest and most powerful in the world. The Volga is the national river of Russia and the longest river in Europe. Russia also has many lakes, including Europe's two largest, Ladoga and Onega. Lake Baikal in Siberia is the world's largest freshwater lake. It contains about 20% of the world's fresh water and is the deepest lake in the world. Secondly, people. About 78% of Russian people live in the European part of the country, which is less than 25% of the total territories. Russia ranks 9th in the world in terms of population. Russia is a multi-ethnic country. There are at least 190 ethnic groups in Russia who speak more than 100 languages. Thirdly, language. Russian is a Slavic language, and it is one of the 6 working languages spoken at the United Nations. The language is the 8th most spoken language in the world, but is the 2nd most dominant language on the internet. Russian is spoken by 206 million speakers and is legally recognized as the country's official language. There are 35 other languages which are also used as official languages in different regions of Russia. Let's study some common Russian expressions.
Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте. Доброе утро. Доброе утро. Добрый день. Добрый день. Добрый вечер. Добрый вечер.
4th, major cities. Next, let's take a closer look at the 2 of Russia world famous cities, Moscow and St. Petersburg. Capital city, Moscow. Moscow is situated in western Russia, close to the country's border with the Ukraine, Belarus, and Estonia. Lying on the Moskva River, it is the country's capital and its largest and richest city. This city has a population of more than 11 million people. Red Square is the best place to hear the whistled tales of the Moscow's past. The Kremlin is another Moscow icon. People can visit the Cathedral of the Archangel, the Cathedral of the Annunciation, and Ivan the Great's bell tower, all with the red walls of the Kremlin. The Alexander Garden is home to the tomb of the unknown soldier. Nearby Victory Park is another powerful tribute to those who fell defending the city, including the millions of Soviet soldiers who died in the Second World War. Then people can visit the monument to the conquerors of the space and learn more about the space race at the Memorial Museum of Cosmonauts. In Moscow, lots of beautiful parks are named after influential poets and authors. Imperial City, St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg lives around 400 miles to the northwest of Moscow. Nestled on the Neva River, it spreads out from its banks and across a series of islands that lies within the river delta, with a wealth of extravagant palaces, breathtaking cathedrals, and magnificent gardens. St. Petersburg is truly Russia's imperial city. Its grandiose architecture and picturesque canals were born from the glittering ambition of Peter the Great early in the 18th century. Over the centuries, this dynasty sought to create a city to rival the greatest cities of Europe. And as you step onto the street here, you will discover they succeeded. Fifth, food. Russian cuisine typically contains pork and beef, lamb, chicken, fish, potatoes, and root vegetables, as well as porridge and bread. Sour cream accompanies many dishes. Russian food is full of flavor, and Russian cuisine is as diverse as the regions there. For drinks, vodka is a popular alcoholic drink, traditionally made from the distillation of fermented potatoes. Beer and tea are also widely consumed. Now, I will introduce some typical Russian dishes. Borscht is the most popular soup in Russia. It is made of red beets and vegetables that are cut into small pieces. Bread is the staple food of Russians. Traditional Russian bread is more chewy than that of other Western countries. Blinies, or Russian pancakes, are one of the oldest foods in Russia. It is thin, round, and golden, symbolizing the sun. It is a must-have food for the Russian holiday, Maslenita, also known as Pancake Week. In Russia, people like to eat caviar. Caviar is raw or eggs from the sturgeon family of fish. It's considered a delicacy, often eaten raw as an appetizer. However, black Caviar is a costly treat which is only served on special occasion or eaten in small amounts. Okay, today we have had a glimpse at Russia from its geography, people, language, major cities, and food. I hope you now have a better understanding about this country. See you next time.